Welcome back to Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel, and I'm your host, Fam the Fabulous. For more ideas, inspiration, swaps, and challenges, click the link in the description below to join our craft community, The Maker Exchange, on Facebook. Welcome back, all my artists, creatives, crafters, and makers. Welcome back to the Lovely Lab. All right, so in the last Sister Friend journal video, I think we finished the cover. Okay, we finished the cover. Let's see, it's right here. Went on ahead and constructed that using nothing more than cereal boxes and paper that we have on hand. You can use scrap paper, you can use cardstock, whatever, you know, but really all you need was cereal boxes, glue, and your papers. All right, now we're going to move on to creating the cover plate. Now, as you know, this beautiful sister here is going to be featured on the front of the cover because she is what inspired the journal to begin with. All right, and so I pulled out a couple of different elements that I'm hoping to incorporate in the front. Now, my thought was, these are the fabrics that I'm using, right? These are the things that I'm going to use. This is going to go on the spine, and these are going to be on the cover. So I plan to use this. That's Josh, guys. But so that this doesn't get lost in here, I am going to gently tear around here, ink the edges, and create, you know, a little bit of background for her so that she can still stand out. Now, what I need to make sure that I do is make sure that it's not too big for the... Okay, so really, let me just go ahead and tear the front at the top, and then I can work my way down to the side. All right, okay, and then she will be here. Let me do it backwards because I tear down, and and so therefore I tear where the white would be showing. If you tear the opposite way, then you don't have to worry about what I'm doing. But I flip it over just so that when I turn it around, I don't have the white edge. Otherwise, I would get that, and it doesn't look cute when you're inking. So, all right. I can go a little bit higher. Just barely, a little bit higher. And then I will go, I need to clean that up a bit over here. I don't want it too jagged out around there, because it takes away from the curviness of her. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and now on this side I will tear down because it's just, I'm left-handed. Some things it's hard for me to explain. There's definitely a method to my madness. It's just hard for me to explain it if your brain doesn't work like mine, which most of the populations doesn't. All right. So, okay, so we got the right size. Let's move that out of the way. And along with the scraps. And let's just see how she sits on this piece of paper here. Looks good to me. Let me round that up a little bit around the edges. My tear game is not what it should be. It truly is not. Okay. I do believe I need to get a little bit more of that out of there. Oh, gracious. All right. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and ink the edge of this and then see what it looks like in contrast to the doll, or to the blue actually. And this is meant to be bigger than the blue, so don't worry about it. Okay, pretty much there, guys. I hope everyone is having an amazingly fabulous, fantabulous day. I know I myself am. Josh does not have class today. This is interim assessment week, so if you have 1 to 2 interim assessments each day, because they only have 4 content classes, or in our old school term, core courses. Math, English, science, social studies. He has 2 on one day, 1 on one day, and 2 on, he's got 2 tomorrow, and 2 on Thursday, I believe. Is that right? Let me go check and see before I start running my mouth. Okay, he's got 2 tomorrow. Okay, yep, 2 tomorrow, 1 on Thursday and 1 on Friday. So we are golden today, and he's so excited. He did his little happy dance, and honey, I wanted to join him. Okay, so I'm glad. I like the way that looks. I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down. There's no alterations needed. I want to be careful because I want to make sure she gets laid down properly. I don't want her popping up or getting snagged on anything. At the same time, I also don't want to warp her because she's such a beauty. I don't want to warp her with having too much glue on here. But it is important to have it around the edges. So in that case, you just make sure that you have a paper towel on hand to get up any excess as it seeps out the sides. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and place her down. Gently place her down. And let her sit for a second so the glue can seep into the papers. And then I will begin to spread. Well, I can't do it too much because there are different elements on here. But so far, so good. Get the paper towel. Okay. Lifting up, being careful just to lift up any excess as it comes out. And let's see, we got the upper portions, which I think will be fine. I do believe she is one sassy looking sister with all her jewelry on and her hair up. She look like she is waiting for date night, honey. Okay. Now again, if you want to get a copy of this doll for your own sister friend journal, there'll be a link below to Sonia's channel or her blog, wherever it is located at. I will get that information from Sonia if it's still available, and I will put it in the description box for you guys. She looks amazing. All right, I'm going to stop playing with her because she's not a doll to be played. She's not to be played with. Okay. All right, so I'm going to let her sit and dry for a second. Well, until we need her. All right, so this is what my thoughts were. I do need to pull get the iron out and make sure that these are iron flat. Actually, this and this. But before I do that, I want to... Now, I tore the edges of this, okay, because I didn't really want it cut, right, you know? So this is how I intend to do this. I am going to take this. Let's see. So we need about... let me bring this in a little bit because it never rips the way you want it to. I'm going to need... cut there, cut here, and then I'm just cutting the places where I want to rip, and I'll rip it down from there. You know what, let me go ahead and cut the whole thing out first. Cut what I need. And then I'll start the tearing process from there. Because this is a lot of excess there. All right. So let's get this seam out of the way. The seams, the black seams. Cut there. Let's see what the rip is going to be like. Okay, that was a pretty good rip. Save that for scraps. Might make a nice edge for a page edge. All right, and then we will, using this, go ahead and take that edge. Keep that one as well. All right, now this is where we narrow it down to the size that we actually need. And that is based on how much of this cover I want showing. The denim will be here, like so. This is actually going to go on top of it, like that. And it's going to go something like that there. Actually, I think it's going to go this way. We'll figure that out. We'll figure out the layout in just a minute. But in the meantime, what I don't want all of the whole thing covered. So I want to rip. Actually, that's what we're going to do. That is what we are going to do. We're going to back this with that. Okay. Yeah, because I didn't want to cover too much of it up. I want the leopard in there, but I don't want to cover up the background of the yeah. All right, then I think we'll cut. I don't have much ironing to do. All right. Okay, so from there, This is not very difficult. I am going to sew this in place. I do believe that that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at where we are with this. I think we need to take a little bit more off the end. Just a tiny bit. Yeah, that'll be fine. Right, and then we go like so. Okay. Like that. And I think what I may, because I still want the cream in there. Still want the cream. I just got to figure out how to get that in there. Nope, I want that completely covered. I may use a strip of the cream. No, let's see. How can we do that? Okay, I got it. Yeah, there we go. I think I'm going to use a strip of the cream. Not a lot of it. Just to be right in here. Let me see what that's going to even look like before I get started. I love different textures, colors, contrasts, things like that. So I want to incorporate that into the cover so that it really is reflective of my personality, you know, as I am multifaceted. I am a complicated creature, aren't we all? All right, now I may need to just layer that on top of the white. I'm going to have to think on that one. I may have to, let's see, something like that. Less, in other words, less. So let me just cut this down a little bit and then clean this up a little bit because it is very distracting. All right, then okay, I think I'm feeling a little bit better with that. And then sewing everything all together. That's distracting. Oh, there we go. Now I'm feeling that. I am feeling that. Now how I'm going to get it on there is a different story. We'll figure it out. Okay, let me take a picture of that. Grab Josh's camera. See if I find it. Oh, it's on my desk. Grab Josh's camera. Take a photo of that. Ooh, his phone is slow. Okay. Okay, so I will actually just put a little glue on the back of her, on the back of this, because I'm going to sew it in place. Move that off to the side. Let me move everything else out of the way because I won't be using it and I don't want to get it confused. And if you're like me and you need to be able to and get easily distracted, remove things from your desk, your workspace that you are not going to use. Otherwise, off on a tangent and down a rabbit hole, you'll stay going, okay? And when you're limited on time, much like myself, that is not always a good thing, okay? Yeah, gotcha. All right, so we said we're going to use this here. I'm just going to quickly put this up. Hole will go here for the closure. Thinking, do I need blue on this side? I don't need blue on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this in half. As soon as I find my scissors. Oh, there we go. See, when you have extra stuff on your desk, you can't find anything. Get that stuff off of there. All right, I like the purplish color, so I want that on the out. The bluish purple that's hanging out, I want that there. No, I'm going to do that like that there. And then we have the cover for the spine here. So it's bringing everything together in a wonderful way. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull my sewing machine out. And, ooh, look at that there. Look at that there. I'm going to find some way to incorporate that thing. Somewhere in here. One way or the other. Maybe down here. Yeah, oh yeah, that'll be cute. All right, so let me stop playing around. Okay, so, oh, I meant to put, you know what? I had meant to put, let me see if I still can do it. No, I don't want too much clouding up. No, I think I'm going to leave that to decorate the inside. I want to keep this as focused on the beauty as possible. So, all right, I'll be right back. I'm just going to go ahead and go around the perimeter of this. Just making sure that I don't want to follow her curves. I just want to kind of keep it just in an ovular shape. And I'm just going to do a single stitch. Although something tells me that I probably shouldn't, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so I'm going to go with a 3.5. All right. And then I'm going to go off into a zigzag stitch. And now I'm going to go back to the single stitch. And that was just to add a little bit of interest to the stitch, you know, to the cover, I should say. Not that we don't already have a ton of it, you know. What's a little bit more? So I'm not so good on the corners, so sometimes I just use that hand crank to my advantage. Okay. Okay, that came out pretty good. I do say so myself. All right, so now I want a little bit of the blue poking out. That is a job for fabric glue. And oh my gosh, the stringage. Now I probably should have started my stitches at the bottom where there's a possibility that I would have had that embroidery piece, that applique on. But it is whatever. I'm going to hit this with the iron real quick. Okay. I think that's a good amount of blue hanging out. What do you think? You agree? I don't even know if we'll need this one, but I do want, you know what, I might, it's going to be one or the other. I can't do them both. It's going to be the applique or the cotton. I think I want to go with the applique. Oh, such difficult decisions. Or do I want that up here? No, I think it needs to be at the bottom. Yeah, that'll work. Let's see what we look like. I'll likely use the hot glue gun for this. It just is a lot easier getting it down. So I won't put it on right now. I'll do it at the very end. But just to get an idea of what we're working with. There she will be. All right, so I think that's good. I think I'm happy with that. And then if we're not going to use that much, we're not using a little piece, this piece right here, which I may still use it on the seam. I may still use it on the outside, depending on what I do with it. Then I'm just, because I'm not using that, I'm going to use have less of the blue showing, and that way I ain't got to stitch it. I can just glue it in place, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to get cardstock. I'm going to put that on, glue it both to cardstock, and then glue that cardstock down. Do I want to do it like that? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's what we'll do. I gotta get a dark piece of cardstock if that's the case. What is my child doing back there? Oh my word. Goodness, these people are something else. These people being the kids. Boy. Sir, give me a break. All right, I think I'm going to go with, no, hold on. I want to go with a metallic. It's not even going to show that much. I'm going to go with the brown, just in case it does show. Okay. I just cut a little piece off because it's in here with a binder clip. There actually, I think the paper pad either came loose, or I can't remember if somebody gifted it to me, or I think that might have been the case. think somebody gifted it to me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tear this a little bit. Just go ahead and tear it on the side. You know what? I could. Ooh, that'll be nice. Okay. Boy, it's about to be a lot of layers, I'll tell you that much. But the more the better, because it just adds support. That's all. Okay, I have to go down this side really easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to just... Bear with me, folks. This is the part where you're just doing a bunch of improvising. This side needs a sharper edge. A sharper torn edge, I should say. That didn't tear completely the way I wanted it to. That's fine. All right, so actually slide this up to the opposite side. Oh, that's good. I do believe that might be a little too long. Oh, that's fine. All right, that's good. Here we go. All in an effort to keep it uniform, because it was a straight line, but because I tore it a little bit, that's fine. That'll be fine. All right. I'm fine with it hanging off the sides a little bit, the colors, and yeah. All right, now let's see what we got here. It doesn't have to be this complicated, but I don't know if I've ever seen a project that I've started on and didn't make it complicated. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't remember a single solitary one. All right. I like that. Now the question is, should I go back around this with another stitch? And I'm inclined to say yes, because in that case I can come on out here and go around like that. All right, so let me go ahead and glue that in place, and then I'm going to come back on once I stitch it down. Okay. All right, so this is what the finished part looks like from the stitching. Now the last thing I want to do is, even though this is brown, I think I'm going to use some black distress ink black soot, and go around the edge of this just so to create a little bit more contrast. I mean, how much how much interest does one cover need? A lot. Just as much interest as the owner. The owner is loaded with interest, and so shall the so humble, I know. But yeah, it's only right that it has a little bit of ink around this edge. Now, I did not ink any of the cover, the pages for the cover. I just didn't want to be dealing with that along with glue, you know. Sometimes when you have to smooth the glue out, it catches on there and creates a hot mess. It's a hot mess situation, I should say. All right, so I think we got that pretty well inked. Just parts that's going to be showing. And now, because I have its paper, I'm confident that it will glue and stay glued in place well. Okay. All right, it's time to put her on and move on with our lives. Okay, so I'm going to be putting that on. Do I want to do it like that? This is going to be like that, so this will need to be like so. And then I still have a closure, I should say. I'm sorry. I got off on tangent there in thought. All right, so let me go ahead and get my thicker glue out. Let's see, where is she? Now, all of my glues that you see in these bottles are Eileen's Tacky Glue. They're watered down in different variations. So this is the thickest. This is the second thickest. And this is, where did it go? I have a really thin one in a small bottle with the little pin in it. And that's the one I just use to either hold paper in place when I'm sewing or, you know, something along those lines. Now, I'm definitely going to put a lot of this glue down. One, because you can't see the cardboard. You won't see it. But I also need to make sure I have the ability to position it. So, and I need to be able to slide it before I let it set. And I just don't want it popping up anywhere. Because I plan on pulling it out all throughout the year, and as often as I feel like I want to play around in it. So I need it for it to be secure. That being said, okay, I'm not going to glue that fabric down. It can stay flapping in the wind as far as I'm concerned. And I want the eyelet to be inside of this fabric. So what I'm going to do is make sure that this is over here like so. And there we have it. I think we are in good shape now. Yep. Next thing we'll be working on in the next video is the signatures. Quite possibly, note, before we get to the signatures, I need to do a folio so that when I go add all of the signatures in, a folio to house some of the ephemera that I plan on using, some that I've received, the ephemera that I've received from my fellow sister friends through Happy Mail. So, all right. And I think before I add this on, which I'm not doing that right now, it'll be while I do the signatures, depending on how. This will be one of the last steps, I believe. Either which way, it's not going to be this step. So for right now, this is what we have. I love it. So glad that I was able to get this accomplished. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Stay tuned for the next steps. There should be 2 to 3 more videos, and then after that my plan is to get this done by the end of the year so that I'll have something to monkey around with for the month of January. I also think I'll probably be making a small gratitude journal for I'll get back to you on that. But in the meantime, stay tuned, guys. Thanks so much for watching. And until we're back here together on YouTube, guys, stay encouraged, stay blessed, stay creative and crafting. Bye for now.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to join the crafty community, and be sure to click the bell for notifications of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Now stay tuned for more from Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. Bye for now.